We have all heard it. Why should I go to the library? Everything is free online. Today, we're going to talk about how to debunk that myth and to build a campaign around it to debunk the myth with your community as well. That's the topic in this episode of the Library Marketing Show. Hi, everyone. I'm Angela Hursh from superlibrarymarketing.com. Head on over there, and I want you to look at the upcoming appearances tab because if all is going well, as this episode is launching, I am on a plane on my way to California for the California Library Association conference. I'm going to be there doing a session on library storytelling. If you're at that conference, I hope to see you there. Come by and tell me that you saw me in this episode. I'm also next week headed to Madison, Wisconsin for the Wisconsin Library Association conference. If you're headed there, look me up as well. I'm going to be doing a session with Melissa Beck of Delafield Public Library. And then a couple of weeks from now, I'll be at the Library Marketing and Communications Conference. If you're planning on going to any of those conferences, let me know down in the comments. If you would like me to come to your conference, you can look at the Contact Angela tab and send me an email message. All right, let's get into today's topic, which is how to dispel that myth that we don't need the library because we can just get everything for free online. You and I know that's not true. There are hidden costs and subscriptions. There are paywalls. There are a lot of free sites that are just full of misinformation. A lot of sites will ask people to give up some data privacy in order to get access to free content. None of that is true with the library. And the perception that you can get things for free online really undervalues the value of libraries. So how do we fight back? I'm going to create just an example, real quick campaign for you. The campaign name is going to be Free Isn't Always Free. And the basis of this campaign is to compare library resources with those alleged free online alternatives. We're going to do things like highlight that the library is full of trusted information, that we curate our collections, both digital and physical, both books and other services, and that librarians have a lot of expertise that the internet does not. In particular, I've seen a lot of libraries where your checkout slip has like you've saved this much money today, which is awesome. And let's take this a little bit further and do some stories on our blogs, some information in emails about the cost of ebooks versus the cost of getting a book at an ebook, a digital book at the library, the cost of streaming services versus getting streaming movies and music through the library, perhaps even the cost of trying to access academic articles versus using the academic databases that are available at the library. Not just on the checkout slip, because we want to reach people who are not using the library. So you may need to do this, like I said, on your blog, maybe writing an article for your local newspaper or magazine, maybe sending out an email that's not promotional. So you're not promoting a library service, but you're talking about the cost difference in the email. And that's all you're talking about. It would also be fun to try to track down some patrons who are just discovering these free resources. So maybe some new patrons that you're onboarding would be willing to talk about how they're saving money, or maybe just the delight of finding out that they can get these expensive things that they thought were free that end up really costing them money. They can get them all at the library. Those stories will build empathy and emotion with your community members, and they'll be more persuasive in getting folks to come use the library. If you're looking to do this campaign, you really could launch it any time. But if you were trying to attach it to a specific hook, as we would call it in news, there are two big things coming up that you could do. One is January's coming. New people are doing new things. They're making resolutions. One of them could be, hey, come to the library and save money in 2026. The other thing that's coming up is National Library Week, which is in April. You could build a campaign now and launch it then about how to get free resources at the library. So I think a campaign like this is really fun and also a very valuable thing for your library. And I am curious if your library has ever done something like this beyond the checkout slip that shows the amount of money you're saving. Has your library ever done a value campaign of this nature that's fun and exciting and fun things we know catch people's attention? Let me know down in the comments because I'm curious, and I bet my viewers are curious as well. And that's it for this episode of the Library Marketing Show. But my channel is full of other tips for library marketing. If you're interested in learning more, head to this next video. I'll see you there.